and welcome. This is M from Narcissistic Abuse Rehab, a safe place where survivors in recovery can find awareness, empowerment, and healing. Our topic for today is the Covert Narcissistic Sibling. If you have a Covert Narcissistic Sibling, please comment your story below. I want to hear from you. By the end of this video, you're going to know the traits and behaviors of Covert Narcissistic Siblings and how this plays out. I want to thank all of our subscribers and viewers for supporting this channel. We're building this channel for you to help you on your healing journey. So please hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to help our channel grow. With that said, let's dive into our topic, the Covert Narcissistic Sibling. A covert narcissist is a subgroup of narcissists. They're also known as introverted narcissists or vulnerable narcissists. Many survivors experience them as wolves in sheep's clothing because covert narcissists hide their true nature behind a shy, meek, harmless persona. Others call them closet narcissists. The bottom line is they keep their true nature, their true intentions secret and hidden behind a veneer of sweetness and light. They are the proverbial street angel, house devil. One of the most painful aspects of having a covert narcissistic sibling is that you know the truth about who they are, but they are so skillfully fake that no one would ever believe you if you were to speak out about who they are behind closed doors. Some covert narcissists gravitate to professions in which they are well-respected role models or authority figures. For example, they may be teachers, pastors, or politicians. They're often held in high regard in their communities. Like the grandiose narcissist, coverts are obsessed with being perceived as perfect. Their acquaintances describe them as the nicest person they ever met. They invent a multitude of false personas to cover up the pent-up shame and rage that's bubbling just under the surface. Narcissistic personality disorder is a spectrum, and there can be oscillation between overt and covert narcissism. So it's not static, and narcissists can move back and forth between the two extremes. But for the sake of simplicity, we're going to focus on covert narcissism. It's hard to detect a covert narcissist, but they are the Judas in every betrayal story. The covert seems benign and altruistic. They mimic and pretend to be codependents in public, but at home, their egotistical, disordered true self is evident. Dr. Ross Rosenberg describes covert narcissists as perhaps the most tricky and dangerous ones of all. Covert narcissists often feel wronged and misunderstood by others. This is usually the narrative they use to suck people in. They feel persecuted by others. They feel that no one truly appreciates how wonderful they are. Yet, when you show them appreciation and love, they lose all respect for you. They extract narcissistic supply by playing a sycophantic role to people they admire. Often this will be an overt narcissist. It could be someone inside your family or it could be someone outside of it. The covert is fervently devoted to the overt narcissist. They're in awe of the overt narcissist who openly demonstrates the contempt for others that the covert keeps hidden inside. Covert narcissists see themselves as special. They have a constant craving for attention. When they don't get it, they will stoop to all kinds of underhanded means to obtain it. They secretly believe that they're better and smarter than everyone else. On the surface, they are patient, kind, and loving, but it's all a pretense to mask their ruthless, selfish, envious core. Oftentimes, the primary targets for their envy is another sibling. And we see many covert narcissists using the strategy of pretending to befriend their sibling while quietly competing with their target and sabotaging them from the shadows. It can be a very dangerous and disturbing dynamic. The greater the covert narcissist's envy, the more damage they will do to their sibling. In extreme cases, this can include covert psychological murder. For more on this topic, please watch my video, The Malignant Narcissist's Endgame. A covert narcissistic sibling is constantly pretending to have your best interest at heart, when the truth is they're actively trying to bring about your ruin. They want to be above you at all costs, at all times, as they pursue their true goals to obtain power, recognition, and money. From behind the scenes, the covert narcissist is hard at work, sabotaging everything from your diet to your relationships, education, career, and health. You can see examples of covert narcissistic siblings in films like The Bodyguard or Raging Bull. They are so subtle and manipulative that their resentment and aggression toward the rival sibling often goes undetected by the parents and others. On the surface, they seem so sweet and kind. So, let's look at some of the traits that covert narcissists share with their overt or grandiose brethren. Both have a sense of entitlement, self-centeredness, a need for admiration, and a lack of healthy boundaries. Now let's look at some of the characteristics that are unique to the covert narcissistic sibling. They're introverted. Unlike the overt narcissist, the covert keeps their grandiose sense of self hidden from the public, but they may confess it to you as their secret ambition to be a president, a head of state, a movie star. They are hypersensitive. Your covert narcissistic sibling is hypersensitive and dramatic. Nothing gets past them. And if nothing is happening, they will invent some kind of crisis to keep the focus on them and their drama. They have anxiety, depression, and anger issues. The covert narcissistic sibling often suffers from anxiety, depression, or anger. And this is almost always related to other people. There is a lot of self-pity and paranoia about how other people treat them and perceive them. They will dump this on you as they go on for hours on end about how mean people are to them. They're contentious. Oftentimes, you'll find yourself in the middle of a knockdown, drag-out argument with your covert narcissistic sibling that leads nowhere and seems to vanish as suddenly and inexplicably as it arose. They are resentful. Remember when you borrowed your covert narcissistic sibling sweater without asking in 1997? No? Well, your covert narcissistic sibling remembers because they never forget a slight. They are burdened with unforgiveness for others. Accusations. Your covert narcissistic sibling will level all kinds of accusations at you. They will accuse you of not caring about them, even after you just demonstrated your affection. They will accuse you of having an unfair advantage in life. They will accuse you of trying to make them feel bad by bettering yourself, etc. They are pessimistic. You get to experience the covert narcissist's pessimism behind closed doors. You hear the blanket statements like, nothing ever works out. Everyone is against them. Why is everyone picking on them? Why didn't they get a promotion, etc. And finally, envy. This really is the number one trait of a covert narcissistic sibling. They are pathologically jealous and possessive. They seek to quietly control you and how others see you. It's envy that drives them to sabotage and harm you. To the outsider, the main red flag of a covert narcissist is that they're too good to be true. They're too nice, too generous, too flattering, too agreeable. To you, their rival, the covert narcissistic sibling, is enigmatic. You're privy to the melodrama behind the scenes. Sometimes this can be the covert narcissistic sibling keeping you up all night and crying about some perceived slight at work or school. It can also be your covert narcissistic sibling using threats of suicide to make sure all eyes stay fixed on them in the family of origin. From a young age, you may notice that you experience anxiety with that sibling. This can manifest in negative self-soothing in yourself. You may, for example, bite your nails. This is a red flag for you and your health. Your covert narcissistic sibling passive-aggressively demands that you prove your love for them. They accuse you of not caring about them, even when you stayed up all night with them on the phone to listen to their never-ending sorrows. When you give the covert narcissistic sibling concrete examples of things you've done to show them that you love them, you'll see a staggering lack of appreciation, an absence of gratitude, because beneath the veneer, they don't value you. At home, the covert narcissist plays the role of the injured, wrong party with their rival in order to elicit pity, but also to make their rival feel guilty. However, in other relationships, the covert narcissist shifts to another persona. They become gregarious, charming, and fun. They do this so skillfully that when their rival sibling mentions any of the things going on behind the curtain, Things like the suicide attempts, drug use, alcoholism, etc. Nobody believes them. The covert narcissist sibling uses guilt and fear on the rival. Guilt because the covert narcissistic sibling is constantly rubbing it in that they think you have unearned privileges. This may be due to your appearance, your charisma, your popularity, your success and work at school. Whatever it is they covet about you, they will guilt you about. You find yourself playing small in these areas of your life in order to appease your covert narcissistic sibling because you fear their tantrums and tirades, the hours of whining and crying and guilting you for making them unhappy just by existing. At the same time, the covert narcissist clings to you. They monopolize you, and they use your guilt to infiltrate your inner circle. They pretend to be your closest ally so that they can monitor what you're doing, who you're seeing, where you're going. If you tell them you're going to start training for a marathon, before you know it, the covert narcissist will sabotage your training by creating a crisis to distract you from your goal, only for the covert narcissist to train in stealth and run the marathon themselves. Your covert narcissist wants whatever you have. If you're admired for your style, it won't be long before your covert narcissistic sibling is copying you. They are very possessive and create unpleasant drama whenever you form a friendship that they find intimidating. They will quietly sabotage the friendship by claiming your new friend has said or done something to offend them. This is a sign that the new friend has to go. For the sake of peace, you may distance yourself from that friend, only to find that your covert narcissistic sibling has gone behind your back and become friends with that person. Now the covert narcissist is talking about you with their new friend. If you leave the covert narcissist alone with your friends, they will stealthily smear you behind your back. They are all about sabotaging your life. If your friends are good friends, they will tell you about the stuff your sibling is saying, and when you hear it, you'll be in complete and utter shock. If you confront the covert narcissist about these sick, destructive behaviors, they'll deflect and tell you a sob story in order to make you pity them. This is a huge red flag. If your covert narcissistic sibling is using social sabotage on you, they're just waiting for an opportunity to bring about your downfall. Don't fall for it if they try to butter you up. They only want to maintain close proximity to you so they can seize on the opportunity to destroy you when it comes. They'll pretend to be your ally only to monitor your every move. They are incessantly data mining with you while never showing you their true face. Covert narcissistic siblings use threats and make impossible demands. Even when you give them what they say they want, the covert narcissistic sibling will figuratively spit in your face by accusing you of not caring about them and demanding further proof of your love and loyalty. To avoid their unbearable tantrums, you may find yourself trying to appease them, but it's never enough. It's never going to be. It's just another one of their control tactics. While painting themselves as victims and demanding your support, the covert narcissist is secretly competing with you. Under the veneer, they loathe themselves and they loathe you too. They are seething with hatred. They will stealthily but deliberately damage your mental and physical health. These black holes will drain you of your time and energy and talent. If you don't keep a healthy distance from them, they will drain you of your life force. You may find yourself struggling with psychological and physical issues as a result of the anxiety and stress generated by your relationship with your covert narcissistic sibling. And once your sibling believes you're down for the count, they're out. They will leave you for dead and sail off into the sunset of their fake lives. Guys, that's all I have for you today. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Help grow our channel by sharing this video with 2 friends you think this message may resonate with. Thank you for listening to this video. That's it for now. Be good to yourselves. We'll talk again soon.